Welcome, fellow travelers, to another journey beyond the veil. Today, we're stepping into the ancient world of Egypt, where laws weren't just written on scrolls or etched in stone, they were woven into the fabric of existence. We're talking about the 7 laws of Maat, the code of ethics that kept ancient Egypt in balance for thousands of years. But here's the real question. Why aren't these laws talked about as much as other moral codes, like the 10 Commandments? Could it be that Maat's wisdom is just too inconvenient for today's world? Stick around, hit like, subscribe, and let's dive in. After all, as an old African proverb says, wisdom does not come overnight. Before we dive into the 7 laws, let's talk about Maat herself. Maat wasn't just a concept, she was a goddess. Imagine a divine figure holding a feather, symbolizing truth and justice, with a calm, no-nonsense expression that says, "I don't do drama, I do balance." She represented everything from truth and harmony to justice and cosmic order. But here's the kicker. Maat wasn't just about keeping the gods happy. Her principles governed daily life for ordinary Egyptians. Think of her as the original moral compass, long before that phrase became a corporate buzzword. Now let's pause for a moment. Isn't it fascinating that thousands of years ago, a civilization thought, hey, let's build our entire society around the idea of balance? Meanwhile, we can't even decide what balance means on social media. What would Maat say about our world today? Probably something like, unfollow the chaos and find your center. So what are these 7 laws of Maat? Think of them as the ancient Egyptian version of life hacks. But instead of helping you optimize your morning routine, they're designed to align you with the universe. Let's break them down. First, there's truth. Seems simple, right? But here's the twist. Truth, according to Maat, wasn't just about not lying. It was about living authentically, being true to yourself and the world around you. So the next time someone asks if they look good in an outfit, maybe channel Maat and find a balance between honesty and kindness. Next, we have balance. Now, balance is everywhere in Egyptian culture, from the way they align the pyramids to the rhythms of the Nile. But balance wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. It's a reminder that you can't live your best life if you're spending 80% of it doom scrolling and 20% wondering why you're stressed. Justice comes third. And no, this isn't the kind of justice that involves long-winded courtroom dramas. It's about fairness in your actions, treating others with respect, and recognizing that what goes around truly does come around. If Maat had a Twitter account, "Do unto others" would probably be her pinned tweet. Then there's harmony. This one's all about being in sync with the world around you. Think of it as the ancient Egyptian version of good vibes only, but with a lot more accountability. Are your actions creating ripples of harmony, or are you stirring up chaos? Maat would want you to check yourself. The 5th law is order. Let's face it, without order, society crumbles. The Egyptians understood this better than anyone. They even had laws about organizing their daily rituals to keep cosmic chaos at bay. Meanwhile, today, we can barely organize our inboxes. The 6th law is reciprocity. This one's a biggie. Reciprocity is about giving and receiving equally, recognizing that life is a two-way street. It's the cosmic version of you get what you give. And let's be honest, if more of us followed this, the world might be a kinder place. Finally, there's propriety. This law is about doing what's appropriate, living with integrity and respect. It's the ancient way of saying, act right or you'll face the consequences. Imagine how different things would be if everyone asked themselves, what would Maat do, before making decisions? Here's the thing. These weren't just abstract ideas. The 7 laws of Maat were deeply embedded in Egyptian society. They shaped everything from governance to personal behavior. Pharaohs were expected to rule in accordance with Maat, and ordinary citizens were taught to align their lives with her principles. If someone stepped out of line, they weren't just upsetting their neighbors, they were throwing the entire universe off balance. Talk about high stakes. Even in the afterlife, Maat's influence loomed large. Remember the famous image of the weighing of the heart? In Egyptian mythology, when you died, Your heart was weighed against Maat's feather. If your heart was lighter, congrats. You made it to paradise. If not, well, let's just say your soul was in for a rough time. So why don't we hear more about Maat today? Why aren't her laws as famous as other moral codes? Could it be because Maat's principles don't just ask us to behave? They demand that we take responsibility for our actions? Let's be real. Living in truth, balance, and harmony sounds great until you realize it means no shortcuts, no excuses, and definitely no blaming Mercury in retrograde. Over time, as different empires rose and fell, Maat's teachings were overshadowed by other philosophies and religions. But her legacy still lingers in the concept of karma, in the golden rule, and even in modern debates about ethics and morality. Here's a question for you. What would happen if we brought Maat's 7 laws back into our lives today? Imagine a world where leaders prioritized balance over power, where justice wasn't just a system, but a way of life, and where reciprocity guided every interaction. Sounds like a dream, right? But maybe it's not so far-fetched. After all, the 7 laws of Maat are timeless. They remind us that the universe thrives on balance, that truth matters, and that harmony isn't just a nice idea, it's essential. And let's face it, the world could use a little more Maat right now. And so, dear travelers, our journey through the veil of time comes to an end, for now. The 7 laws of Maat, born thousands of years ago, still hold the power to guide us toward a better, more balanced world. But here's the real question. Will we listen? Or will we keep searching for answers when they've been here all along? If you enjoyed this journey into ancient wisdom, hit that like button and subscribe to Veil of Time. Let's keep uncovering the truths they'd rather us not know. After all, as the Egyptians believed, a beautiful thing is never perfect. Stay curious, stay questioning, and remember, history isn't just what happened, it's what was written.